part about learning is probably that we do interactive things. It's not just facts, facts, facts. We get to show how it works and how it happens.
I really like acceleration because like some people are doing the Chicago Fire and like that doesn't really go with a lot of things. So you kind of get to learn like an extra bit.
I like art because we get to create stuff and we get to rely on our own imagination.
Subjects because I really like giving the students control of what they want to learn and then just kind of really having them be creative and push themselves to discover new things that they thought they couldn't. I think STEM is a great platform for that.
I think the learning environment is very collaborative and interactive for the students. Teachers have the Class Dojo app and I get to see my student collaborating and interacting with his peers and enjoying learning very much.
Science because we get to do like hands-on experiments and it's fun.
After thinking about this, it's hard to come up with one word to say how I would describe Hawthorne, and I chose the word modern because I think that there is a good mix at Hawthorne and likely in the district of traditional learning with a modern take on it. When I call traditional learning, I think of like book reports that we had to do when we were a kid, flashcards with math facts, but now the curriculum and the teachers here seem to plan with a lot more creativity. So they're taking a science lesson and doing something with the kids, a weather unit that we would have maybe never done in a traditional setting. So it still has those core beliefs and foundations, but the kids are getting to do a lot more things.
Writing because like we get to write about stuff that we like and know.
It's creative, interesting, engaging. Some of the projects that my children have done, they've been excited about. The continuity of it that, I don't know.
It's been a really positive experience for my kids. A lot of creativity, good challenges. I feel that my daughter was very well prepared for Sandberg.
I like library because you get to check out books. My favorite subject is probably writing because you get to express yourself in different types of writing and you get to like tell stories about your life.
Really enjoy teaching math because I like the problem solving that's involved, but I love teaching reading because of the creativity that we get to have in my classroom.
I would say dynamic with Reader's Workshop and guided math and all of the moving around and different ideas that they're sharing every day. I would say dynamic.
I like science because we get to do hands-on projects. We get to do the experiments as a class together and sometimes independently.
In the last few years there have been a few things introduced that I've really liked. There's the Eureka Math, which seems intriguing to me and seems to incorporate a lot of good problem solving skills. And also the introduction of no homework. I think that's been a really good thing for families and for kids. It takes the burden off of the stress of that after school homework. And from what I understand, the research really shows that it's not necessary. So I've really appreciated that, and yeah, I think those elements have been excellent.
Well, we basically have an application problem, and then he teaches us about that. We do 2 more problems with him. Then we do problem sets with a group. Then we do Math Menu, which is a bunch of computer math stuff.
There's really good teachers and they learn about, like they teach you guys a lot of stuff.
Well, I really like that she's really nice to me. We talk a lot together and we get to do some luncheons with her, which is really fun.
About my teacher is she's really nice and she gives us she tries new things and she gives us a lot of chance.
My teacher lets us do a whole bunch of techie stuff.
Well, he's funny, I guess. He like interacts with the children and see what they want. And
she's really nice, and she cares about if we have a hard time or if we are good at something.
she's really helpful and she's really kind.
She's fun and she jokes around a bunch.
Yeah.
Helps you learn. She makes it fun. She's always willing to try new things, and if we don't get something, it's just we're not only doing that method, we're doing other methods too. So yeah, our teacher's Miss Herbert, and I just think she's a great teacher because she just always has a smile on her face. She's always giving us positive feedback. She helps us, and we get a lot done on top of the fun that we have.
My teacher, Mrs. Graff, she's really nice. She's supportive, and she works with other kids if they don't understand something or they need help getting explained something.
Miss Pope is really nice in every way, and she makes learning really fun.
The best thing about my teacher is I never had a male teacher, so it's interesting, and I really like him because he's really funny. He helps me with stuff I don't get.
My favorite thing about teaching is that I know that I can help make a difference, and that I may not see the difference happen right away. I know that our conversations can make a lasting impression down the line for students.
I think my favorite moments are when students finally understand the concept that I'm teaching, when the light bulb goes off in their heads.
I always tell students I like it when I can stretch their brains. So it freaks out the younger kids, but what I really mean is just to open your mind, to think about new things. And my favorite teaching moment is whenever I see students that really do that and think, wow, oh, I get it now. So I like the aha moments.
So my favorite thing about teaching is watching when kids kind of complete something that they thought they couldn't, have that kind of cool light bulb aha moment. That's my favorite, when they think they couldn't do it, but then, you just push them and then they get that moment. It's just the best feeling when someone realizes something that they thought they couldn't do, but they did on their own.
My favorite thing about teaching is probably seeing where students start out in August as readers, and then where they're at in May as far as interest and confidence, and just to see the growth that they make.
I really love when the kids in my music room get a chance to create and present the things they've created, because oftentimes they come up with things that I never thought of myself, and it just shows me how creative they can be and how much smarter they are than me. A good learner is somebody who is okay with making mistakes and is not afraid to take risks, and is okay that they don't know everything. Somebody who's always trying to be better at something they don't know, or even the things they do know, and works really, really hard.
What are attributes? I think a good learner needs to be comfortable failing, fixing their mistakes, and trying harder and changing plans when needed.
I really think a good learner should be a problem solver. They should work together and learn communication skills, and I think a lot of times we think of, good learners, they're really good at math, or they're really good at reading and social studies and science, and I don't think that those are the most important qualities to have. I think learning how to communicate with others and be kind and learning those social skills is even more important, because if you can't communicate how you feel or work together with someone, you're never going to be able to solve a problem.
A good learner, I think they need to be focused. They need to have a growth mindset and be willing to persevere when something doesn't come to them right away.
Yeah.
Science. Why do you like science so much? Because you get to explore, and sometimes Miss Fury, she says she starts starts it off, and then we can take it up to a whole different level. My favorite subject is math because I like solving problems and like how you can do it different ways.
Mine is also math because it's kind of like your way of showing how you understand ways you can figure out real life problems. What's 2 times 1?
Let's read the 2. Sorry.
So what's 6
times?
6 times 1.
I like reading because you can just find out so much things from books.
Math is my favorite subject because it's fun and challenges my brain and it helps me learn.
Research is my favorite subject because I gotta take a break from learning.
My favorite subject is math because I get to solve math problems and make my brain stronger.
My favorite subject is art because Mr. Wessler comes up with awesome ideas.
I love all the subjects
And why do you love all the subjects?
because I really like to do art, music, PE, and all that stuff.
Favorite subject is PE because you get to do like fun stuff like balloon volleyball.
Still reading. I love to teach reading because I can read any book that a kid's into and help them just find the love of reading.
I have to go with reading because the students come in as almost kindergartners and they leave as 2nd graders, and they learn how to read. They become so strong as readers, and they comprehend, they get excited, and I love watching all their book boxes overfilled with Post-its, keeping track of all of their thinking, and so I think reading in 1st grade is my favorite to teach.
Is my favorite subject to teach and why? That's hard. I really enjoy teaching math because I like the problem solving that's involved, but I love teaching reading because of the creativity that we get to have in my classroom.
I think that'd have to be lunch. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's music. There's only one subject I teach, and I love teaching music because I get to see kids in a whole different way that other teachers do.
Math is my favorite subject to teach. It's my favorite because when I was growing up, I was always afraid of math. It always made me nervous when I had to try to solve problems and not get it, and so I want the students to feel
The art teacher that we have is so much fun, and he teaches us like every day about like history, and he's really fun. And it's fun to talk with your friends and get away from electronics.
All the kids, obviously the staff. I mean, we're all like one big family. We all care about each other. When we see each other in the hall, we're always like, hi. But really a sense of family and community. I think that's my very favorite thing.
The students are great, and working with a wonderful staff. All the teachers are not only good friends of mine, but wonderful teachers.
My favorite thing about Hawthorne would be all the nice kids that are here, all the nice parents that are here, all of the teachers we work well together, so I like everything about Hawthorne.
My favorite thing about Hawthorne School is every day when I come, I may leave my home feeling frustrated or stressed because of, the hustle and bustle of getting kids ready for school, but I know that when I come here, I get to see really sweet, friendly faces and kids smile.
Probably that there's a lot of kids, so you can make more than one friend. I think I like best about Hawthorne School is that they have like a lot of things to do. They have science and hobby night, the talent show, and all of that stuff.
It's very fun. Everything in our classroom is like handmade with wood. And we have like our own homemade like pencil dispenser and a fireplace and everything. It's really cool. It's a really great environment to learn in.
My favorite thing about our grade level is that we have more freedom and more choice because we're more trusted.
Oh, the bookends. Ooh. I love the kindergarten signs that say welcome to Hawthorne. Yeah. And I love the 5th grade march. Those were my favorites.
It had to do with my older son, and we moved here, and this was a new school for him, so that was a transition. So it was a bump in the road to have to leave your friends behind and come and meet new friends. Well, I noticed that as he was coming to the Meet the Teacher day before the first day of school, that he was extremely nervous. It was all new. This is a large campus compared to what we had come from. There are so many students. It's overwhelming. Kids were excited, and he was extremely nervous. And he took my hand, and I saw a different side of his personality because he had just completely gone quiet. I didn't see his vivacious self, and we went to his second grade classroom where his teacher was Miss Eiderbide, and she said, "So you're Quinn?" And she said, "Welcome to Elmhurst." And she already knew that he was a transplant from outside of Elmhurst. And she knew, without knowing my son, just by looking with her experience with second graders for so long, that this child was nervous. This child was sort of out of his element. And she quickly told him that there was going to be another little boy who was moving, who had never been at Hawthorne either. And you just saw my son physically relax. He let go of my hand, he small talked with her, and it was just, she got it. And when he saw that she got it, everything was okay in the world. And it was hard for me. That was my hardest experience because I was taking this child and making him move. But it was completely transformed because she got it right then and there.
My absolute favorite moment at Hawthorne was the first day of school. Now I have a kindergartner, so it was our first experience, and it was so exciting. There was so much energy, but the best part was that it made me realize that the learning didn't start that day, it continued. And it was just such a great day. I also loved Hawthorne happenings, and the magician was just so fun.
There have been so many. I mean, science and hobby night is tonight, so things like that. I love all of the extracurricular things that Hawthorne offers. But just my experiences with the teachers, being in the classrooms. I've been a room parent for a lot, so I've really been able to see the teachers in action, and I'm just so impressed with their patience. And it's more the day-to-day stuff that I'm so impressed with than one specific event or anything like that. So.
I love reading with my friends right after lunch and finding an informational topic and writing about it.
I think Hawthorne School does really well. They foster a sense of community. Continuity, like I mentioned before, in the projects that they do from grade to grade level, but the PTA fosters a lot of continuity and community, and they look forward to the dances. They look forward to the other special nights, like the Hawthorne Happening is always a highlight of the student year. And that I like the things that bring us all together, because some parents have a lot of time to be on the PTA committees and to do important work there, and other parents can barely get it together to put a costume on their child and show up, but we're all here together, and you can sign up to volunteer for a half hour at the hot dog stand, you can sign up to volunteer for a half hour in your child's room, so there are ways for everybody to participate that aren't taking on the chairmanship of the whole committee.
I think they support creativity in teachers. I think they do take into account parent feedback, and I think they are looking to improve.
Hawthorne School is great at communication, collaboration. I really feel like they're a partner in our child's development. I also love, just personally, that they focus heavily on the growth mindset.
It's really everything that they do, not one specific thing. I think they're caring, they're engaged, they know my kids, not just as students, but as little people, and I think that's really great.
Hawthorne School has a really good way of communicating to parents what their students are doing in the classroom, which is most important to us, I feel, so that we know what they're doing and what we can work on at home with them.
They hire very good teachers. I've been so happy with every teacher that my children have had, and they really seem to maintain those teachers and keep them here, and they stay for a long time. So that is an excellent aspect of the school, I think.
I usually do it I usually picture numbers and some sort of diagrams inside my head.
When my teacher tells me stuff, but then I go and I find out more strategies and do them on my paper. Probably just listening to the teacher and hearing what she's trying to say, or working with a partner.
Well, I like learning with other people, and I like watching someone do it and then trying to do that myself.
I learn the best when we get to work with the people we want to work with, our friends, because then we can chat and we can discuss more, and we learn better. And I know when I pick a partner, I like to pick the people that learn the same way as me. I personally like doing it with the class and stuff and trying it on my own, because with a test you won't be with a partner or something at homework, so I like doing it on my own personally.
I like when we do it as a class together, because then when it's her word, or when one of us isn't getting something with her word, we'll take her time and make sure the whole entire class understands. And sometimes we'll break lessons up into 2 days if we don't understand it. But I also like working with partners because you know them, and understand them, so it's a little bit easier and a little less pressure filled.
Yeah, and also when we do work with partners, I personally, I have a different opinion than I like working with someone that doesn't do the same work as I do, so we can try different ways.
Mental, in my head. I don't like drawing stuff.
Drawing stuff is annoying.
It takes me longer. Well, how do you think you wrote this?
Well, I think I have good teachers, and they they teach me good, and when I have trouble they help me more. So
I learn best with friends and when it's quiet with teachers.
I wish we got to do art more, because art is really fun and lots of kids like it. And another thing that is why we should have more art is that art includes math, because we're measuring things, and it's kind of like geometry, because we have to do shapes, and sometimes we have to do I forgot what it's called, but it's when stuff is same on the sides.
Symmetrical?
Yeah.
So you look at symmetry.
And geometry is math, so we're technically doing math when we're doing art.
Reading, because I enjoy sitting in a comfortable spot and just getting can't stop reading. It's
I wish I got it to do lots of math. That's good. So
I would like to see more assemblies at school. All school assemblies, I think, are a great way to send a message to the children and the student body all together as a whole group. Maybe some collaboration with parents and activities of after school assemblies for parents as well.
I wish I could have more math time.
I wish we could do a little more new ways to figure it out, because you only get 3 ways, and you only get 3 ways. I wish you could get maybe 5.
I wish we had more recess time. I wish we could play on our Chromebooks more. I wish we had more math games that we could play on our Chromebooks more.
Yes, one thing that I wish Hawthorne did more of was providing feedback for the progressive elements that they introduce, and letting us know how those are working, whether they're actually ending up benefiting our children. And it would be nice to have that research and that feedback to know what programs are working well.
I would say, piggybacking on my comment about the large community of Hawthorne having the most students and the most families, or right on par with Lincoln, I wish that we were able to do more community-based events with the families. as they were separate from school. So in other words, we get to see each other when we're all here only a couple nights during the school year at curriculum night or when the children are coming back to school. But it's always hard to get a large group of people together or to do an event or to create a community. I wish that we could create those parent niches within our large school. I wish we had more of those. If we had dads who share an interest in a book or something to that. I'm not thinking of a good example, but if we had more opportunity for parents to find their niche within our community, not just the children, because we fall victim to being friends with the parents that our children are friends with, but we might have something in common with another family in the district, and I wish we could hone in on that a little bit more.
I want them to feel that their teachers care about them. And of course I want them to learn, but I want them to be able to go outside and learn that way and experience the sun and fresh air and just kind of be free so that they appreciate everything that's around them, not just inside and focused. I want them to connect with their teachers and with their friends, and I want them to apply what they're learning in class and outside to real life. I want them to be kind and compassionate, and I think that we see that a lot on t-shirts and as catchphrases on posters, but I want them to know that it's a real thing and to know what that is and what that looks like in real life in their experiences.
That's a good question. My favorite kind of school would involve a community of inclusion. Everyone feeling comfortable to express who they are, be accepted by everyone around them. I would involve a lot more games and activities and free time. I don't think we spend enough time talking and getting to know people well enough.
I would have to say my ideal classroom or school would be where the kids are really doing things that they are interested in and driving most of their learning. Also, kids just working together in collaborative groups and lots of hands-on activities.
When I imagine the perfect school experience, I think of play and exploration and just an ability to try new things and be accepting of new ideas.
It wouldn't be a huge school as far as population goes. We'd have access to any book, top-notch technology. We'd have great guest speakers coming in from the outside, and the teachers would have, the best training that we could have.
Well, similar to what we've been talking about, progressive, offering them what they need to succeed in 5 and 10 and 20 years from now, because things will look obviously very different. And so I really want them to be prepared and ready for that, with the skills that they learn, with the knowledge that they have, and with the organizational abilities that they take. So all of those things.
I imagine that they're interested in what they're learning, subject matter-wise. I imagine that they have friends, that they're in a safe environment where there's no bullying. I imagine that there's outlets for creativity, for musical expression, art, music, language, culture, and just a warm, friendly, I want them to be happy going to school. Beyond the 7 a.m. grumpy part of the day, I want them to be happy to go be with their friends and their teachers.
I would just love for them to learn how to really interact with the world outside of school and kind of, be confident outside of school. So be polite, use manners and all that stuff, but really be confident in themselves outside of school.
Something that I want my kids to learn that we don't explicitly teach, I think it's kindness. I want them to learn to be good people and good parts of the community and to be a good friend. I think we don't teach, we don't have a subject on kindness, but I think the most important thing I want my students to learn is to be kind to others.
I am so grateful to the teachers at Hawthorne. And in fact, with my daughters yesterday, we went through all of the teachers. It was Miss King, Miss Perrone, Mrs. Lindstrom, Miss Gaston twice. Twice we had Miss Alaska. Who did Nolan have last year? Mrs. Pope. We had Mrs. Herward. We had Miss Waddell, Mrs. Bugelski, Miss Angove, who has a different last name now. Rossman. His last name. We just have had so many really wonderful teachers. Mr. Bertani really helped my son advance in his reading level. Mrs. Lucero, and Mr. Wessler. They've all loved art.
Yeah.
And he has been the one teacher that all three of my children have had.
I would just love to share with the teachers at Hawthorne my appreciation. Miss Edelbrick particularly, but anyone who comes in contact with my child gives him a new perspective and an experience, and for that I am deeply grateful.
That we support them. That was a quick and easy answer, but that we support them.
So thankful for them. Every day I'm shocked at how patient they can be and how much they can teach our kids, and not just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 like I have at home, but 20 plus kids, and they're maintaining order and helping them and caring for them and on top of teaching them, which is just incredible to me.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me. That I call my
I want to be a civil engineer like my dad.
Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before. But it feels like home.
I want to be a teacher.
They can say it all sounds crazy.
Exceed in my dreams and exceed in my wishes.
They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy.
I want to be a soccer player.
Oh yeah, Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
When I grow up, I really want to be an equestrian rider, but also if I want to do that, I have to learn math and like reading too.
A politician and try to make the wall actually a building where immigrants can commonly go in.
After both of those, I want to be a scientist and a doctor, and I want to stop diabetes.
There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile.
I hope that they find a core interest and a passion, and they can find a career doing something that is interesting to them.
I really want them to continue to enjoy learning and think of learning as a lifelong experience, and challenges are a good thing and that they can overcome.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, a million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see.
Oh my God, dude, this is so sick. gymnast or an actress when I grow up, or a veterinarian.
I want to either be a soccer player or an Apple engineer.
With that potential that they have to become just amazing people. Sometimes when you see people at school or maybe outside of school and they're a bit different, sometimes people get a little uncomfortable or they feel a little nervous around people that might be different, and I realized from a young age that people who are different really made me so excited and I want to, teach them and go near them and get to know people who are different better. So that's why I became a teacher.
Hawthorne School. Oh, charge. There is beef, horseradish, iceberg, lettuce, jalapenos, kidney beans.
Do you see the red dot or something that says
Yes.
something? There you go. And see it's flashing?
Yep.
Oh, wait, whoops. Wrong way. Other way. There you go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.